beautiful friends. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you with me for another Pick a Card, and welcome to all of the new viewers. My name is Odessa. I'm the Mystic Intuitive Healer, and I deliver messages through the cards that help you to awaken, heal, align, and grow. In today's reading, I am revealing to you your hottest qualities. So this reading is from the perspective of spirit. So these are truly qualities that you possess. This isn't just based on other people's opinion. Of course, there are going to be other people's opinions that come through the cards, and I will highlight that. But everything that I talk about is a core trait that you possess. Whether you see that or not, it is truly representative of you. So I have 3 piles for you to select from. Pile number 1 has a jar of clear quartz chips as well as a rose quartz carved cat and this little seashell and the star charm. Pile number 2 has the crown charm, followed by the cutting from my garden of these little pink flowers. This is a little piece of cork with an evil eye charm attached to it. And this is a spell jar. So it's a little glass jar with a note on the inside. And then pile number 3 has the white feather with a piece of moldavite, which is a very high vibrational, powerful crystal. And this is a charm that features an acorn and an oak leaf. And finally, the heart charm that is got sort of this amber coloration to it. So I'm going to give you a second to meditate and select your pile, and I will see you at your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So as I mentioned in the intro, in today's reading, I am talking about your hottest qualities. And all of these messages are coming from the perspective of spirit. The point of this reading is to help you understand all of the core qualities, talents, gifts you possess that help you to be more magnetic, and to manifest the life that you have always wanted. And sometimes we're not aware of all of the tools in our toolkit. And if we externalize everything and we're constantly looking at what other people think of us, it makes it even harder for us to see ourselves clearly, because the people in our life often are limited in how they view us based on how healed they are, right? They can project onto us, and it doesn't necessarily mean that any of their perspectives are accurate. So I really want you to focus on who you truly are. So when we ask spirit what your hottest qualities are, these are things that you might not even resonate with. These are things that you might not see within yourself. And you're slowly discovering this within yourself. So keep that in mind as the messages come forward. But of course, if the entire reading feels like it's not really clicking for you, I recommend going back to the pick a pile section of the intro and selecting one of the other 2 piles, because it's possible that you're just in the wrong pile. You were drawn to this reading for a reason, so I highly recommend that you seek out your pile, because there's messages waiting for you. And of course, you might be new to my little family, and we're building our connection. And the more you engage with my content, the more I'm going to be able to pick up on your energy and channel messages that are specifically for you. But the best way to get a reading that is totally in alignment with who you are and all of the messages will resonate is to go to my website and book a personal reading with me. And you can find all of my booking information at odessamall.com. So let's get into your reading. These first 4 items are our starting messages about your hottest qualities. So we've got a jar of clear quartz here. Clear quartz is known as a master healer stone. It can be used to clear any chakra, any blockage in any chakra. It's an amplifying stone, so it can increase the healing properties of the other crystals that it's being used alongside. And it's also like a tuning fork. It's able to harmonize the vibrational frequency of the other crystals that it's being used alongside. It's also able to harmonize the energy of a room. It can clear out lower vibrational negative energies or spirit energies. It's a very powerful crystal. One of the best. There's a reason why it's so popular. So the sense that I get is that you have a very healing energy. You've been able to really shed a lot of the distractions in your life, or you're in the process of doing that. You're able to get along with other people. People feel at ease with you. You might have found that a lot of people come to you and ask you for support or guidance, or they need your help in some way. That might have been a little bit draining for you at times. I think that you're learning, or you have learned, how to have stronger boundaries, how to empower people that around you so that they can help themselves and they can be in your life without draining you. There's this sense of you really having resilience too. So you know that there are certain things that you want to achieve, and you know that it's going to likely take some hard work, and you're not scared of that. There's a strong sense that from your pile that you've experienced some extreme highs and lows. And in the past, I think you might have felt like you were the victim, and like the power that you were seeking was coming from outside of yourself. And you felt like you had to sort of jump through hoops or sort of make alliances with the right people to get what you wanted. And I think at this point in time, you're starting to realize that those low points might actually be by design, that there's a larger pattern that's going on here. And the highs and lows are helping you to be resilient through hardship, to not have other people's energy sort of throw you off. And just because something isn't going the way you want in this moment doesn't mean that you're not going to get the things that you're seeking. There's just this real elevated energy, really being able to see things from the highest possible vantage point, to be able to sort of see the game, right? Like, we are here living life so that we can learn lessons and grow. That is my core belief about what our purpose here on this planet is, that we are elevating our souls to the point of enlightenment, and that takes many lifetimes. And I think that many of you, especially those of you who are spiritual, have sort of a sense of that. Like, you know, you might not believe in reincarnation. You might not align with everything that I'm saying about there being like a plan in place, but you do understand that you are learning a lot, even from the bad things that have happened, and you're going to take that with you to plan for the future and really like avoid further conflicts. Next, we've got this cute little cat that's carved out of rose quartz. So rose quartz has a lot of the same qualities as the clear quartz, but it's attuned to the energy of love. So, you know, one of your hottest qualities is that you are a very loving person, and you're able to tap into the energy of love to make decisions for yourself. So you are in your hottest energy when you are doing things that you absolutely love. You're wearing clothes that you love. You are working a job that you love. You're surrounded by people that you really love. Like, that is when you really shine. And it has nothing to do with what you're doing necessarily aesthetically. Like, you might feel like you're not at your best, but when you are, you know, doing something that you absolutely love, there's like this magnetism, there's like this spark, this like star powered energy that you have. You know, like whatever it is that you love, I just think that it's not even about being the best. You don't have to be the first person to cross the finish line at a marathon to be the person that everyone remembers. There's just this sense of like you have star power no matter where you are at that finishing line. And a lot of people might think that you have the ability to be a star, like you might want to be famous, or you might want to be in the creative arts. Like you might want to, like there might be an opportunity for you in terms of your career of being a celebrity. Maybe that's an actor, maybe that is just someone who has won major awards, or you're just really known. You have strong star power. And there's this sense of like you were just born with it. Like you might have always been a performer, or like you're just so like attractive. And attraction can come in a lot of different ways. You might be very aesthetically pleasing, right? Like you have great style, you're beautiful. You might also just have this charisma where when you walk into a room, people are just sort of like, who is that? Like you're just this larger than life figure. And there's this sense of you having like being a great storyteller, being very funny. Like you just like make things a lot more fun. And I think that you kind of don't sweat the small stuff, which is also a really hot quality. The seashell. So you might be a water sign, or that you might have strong placements in your astrology chart connected to water signs, which are Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. You might also be connected to water in a different way. So you might live near water, you spend time around water. Your mother might have had a water birth, right? You were like literally brought into this world directly into water. I mean, you know, technically we all come from water because of the water in the womb. But there's also the sense that maybe for some of you, some of your hobbies are connected to water in some way. Like maybe you paint with watercolors, or you love to kayak, or maybe you have an aquarium. Like there's just this sense of like water comes forward in some way. Some of you that are a little bit witchier, or you're spiritual, you might actually be strongly connected through your personal practices or through your ancestors to deities that are connected to water. So let's get into your cards. I'm going to do these one at a time like I've been doing over the past couple of readings. I think it just makes it easier for me to channel the energy. Okay, so first, Shakti, transformation. So this is based on Hindu mythology. Shakti is the creative force, this powerful feminine energy that brings transformation into the world. So you are very feminine. That doesn't mean that you're a woman. It doesn't mean that you dress in a classical feminine way. You might not define yourself by that at all, but there is this strong feminine energy that you exude that is so hot. There's a sense of you being very creative. I don't know exactly what it is that you're doing that's so creative. I think for many of you, you're very creative in the way that you physically present yourself. So you might be really into fashion, makeup, hair. You love accessories. There's this sense of really being in tune with things that are unique or whimsical or unusual. You are ahead of the curve. There's this sense of you really being in tune, like I was saying with the clear quartz, like this higher power, this insight. You allow your intuition to sort of guide you towards what is going to be like very unique, popular. Maybe you're like an early adopter in the trend cycle. You might just be very artistic in terms of like how you also present yourself. You're trying things before other people do. For many of you, I feel like you might be a muse to other people. Maybe that is fashion, like I said, but maybe you have had really powerful relationships with people and it's really transformed them. I wouldn't be surprised at all if people had written books with you as a character. They've written songs about you, or you're partially inspiring something that they're doing, photography, painting. There's just this impact that you leave on people that you've been very, very close with, and you inspire them to transform and be creative in their own lives. And they find that so hot. I think that there's been people that are completely obsessed with you. There is strongly this muse energy that's coming forward now. You seem to be able to help them get through cycles with the number 46. That's reducing down to the number 10. There's this sense of like maybe you get people out of creator's block, and that they find so sexy, so inspiring. And I think for you, your guides are telling me that you might have found that to be sort of depressing at times. Like why is it that they go through this creative spike in their lives and maybe they're making money or they're getting ahead, and you feel like it's such a grind for you, constantly having to work and maybe not getting the accolades or the reinforcement is the word that's coming forward. Maybe people don't give you credit where credit is due. Believe me, that's coming. The world is dramatically changing. I really want to stress that for everyone that watches my readings. Things are not going to be the same as they once were. The people that were behind the scenes, the people that led with their heart, that didn't have the recognition, or they didn't have the success that they deserved, are going to start to be rewarded. But the important thing is that you still have to continue to listen to your heart and be true to yourself. Next, charisma. I was talking about that when I was talking about just the items. It says charisma, love flows to you. You radiate charisma and charm. You really do. That's where that muse energy comes in. I think that especially when you were younger, you might have had these very powerful experiences in love. Just like I was saying, people being obsessed with you, wanting to be with you, just this powerful magnetic love energy where it might have been quite fiery too. Some of you might have had sort of explosive relationships where you loved so fiercely, but you also fought just as intensely. And it might have felt like this sort of twin flame energy where it was almost sort of karmic in nature. You're gonna learn, if you haven't already, to just sort of allow yourself to be in that middle ground, to sort of heal and smooth out the rough edges, so that isn't as enticing. That powerful energy doesn't have to come from outside of you. I think that many of you might have also gone through big transformations after you've gone through loss. So there's Plutonian energy coming forward here. It's this real powerful death, rebirth kind of energy. So examples of that: you lose a job, you get depressed, then you reinvent yourself and you go in a new direction. You go through a transformation process of maybe going back to school, or you reinvent yourself where you transform your talents and your experience and you go in a different field, but you're always leveling up, even if it isn't as much as you would want it to. And your ability to make something magical out of nothing is so hot. People aren't really inspired by this. There's this real rags to riches kind of energy that's coming forward. Many of you might have gone through massive glow ups. You go through a tough breakup and you come out looking hotter and better than you ever have before. And it's because you're stepping into your own. It's you don't care as much. about what other people think. And that's a real gift. And the more you're able to do that, the more you have authentic charisma, which is even hotter than the charisma that we have when we're wearing a mask. And we all have to wear masks at times. It's inevitable. But it's the difference between wearing a mask when we're unhealed and wearing a mask when we are healed is that we're making a choice. It's not the other people making a choice, right? When we are unhealed, we put on a mask so we're not bullied and targeted. When we are healed, we put on a mask to be able to present to the world what we want them to see and work with the energies around us to create the kind of life or the outcomes that we want. It's our own choice. So there's this sense of some of you sort of realizing that and like you're still going through this transformation, but like the power of your like that moment when you rise from the ashes like the phoenix is just so sexy. Stitch soul, rebuild broken pieces, embrace what makes you unique, create in chaos, build yourself anew. That was exactly what I was saying. That is wild. Yeah, you've gone through glow ups. There might have been times when you really felt broken. Even at times now, you might feel like I am like a fraud or an imposter. You feel like you've just been stitched back together and you don't feel like you're totally healed. That's okay. There's some power in that for you. And it kind of makes you even sexier. If you can just accept the rawness of who you are and your vulnerabilities or any of the things that don't make, like that you feel don't make you perfect, you are going to be even more enticing. There's a sense of like the more you embrace all of the things that you used to feel shame around, the more powerful you're going to become. And get used to the chaos. There's more chaos to come, right? Just like on the world stage, all of us around the globe are going to be experiencing some really crazy things that are going to be happening over the next couple of years. Get ready because this is an opportunity for you to thrive. There's a sense of you really getting comfortable with the energy of Uranus and like happy accidents, things that are just like coming out of the blue. And like the more you embrace this sort of like chaotic energy and you sort of like wield that to your benefit, like the hotter, sexier, more powerful and potent you're going to become. Just enticing. There's this sense of like you, and for some of you, it's like your forbidden fruit, like a guilty pleasure. Like people just cannot stop coming back around to you. And you could really use that, especially if like you're using this in business to like sell products or to build a community. There's something there. Unlocking. What was once locked is now ready to be open. You've unlocked the floodgates of abundance. Free the limitation. Obstacles appear to remind you when you're steering off course. That's so powerful. Remember that. Like, you definitely are going to face a lot of roadblocks, a lot of highs and lows, but your ability to transcend those, to either have them not even bother you because you're just so used to it, or for you to be able to just sort of move around them effortlessly. There's this sense of like really, again, seeing things from a higher perspective, which allows you to be able to see further into the future. Pattern recognition skills. Some of you might also be working with Hecate, the opener of doors. There's this sense of manifesting and like using your own dark powers to be able to get what you want. This is a matter of utilizing your own, there's this sense of like, it's okay to make decisions that benefit you and giving yourself permission to do that you don't have to rescue or save everyone. You have to sort of save yourself, and that trying to rescue everyone or bring them along for the ride can leave you in a place of vulnerability where it kind of like dims your light, and there's this sense of like, you are fire. Just let yourself be hot. Let yourself like sort of burn off what you don't need. And that might be people, right? It might be that you just have to be out of reach, that you're too hot to handle, is the sense that I get. Consumed, extinguished out by having open communication. Consumed, I think of like consumed by the flames, extinguished, putting that flame out. Okay, so people, again, they're totally consumed by you. They think about you all the time. But when you give too much access to the wrong people, it's like they don't see your value any longer. It's like they need you to be a little bit out of reach. You need to be exclusive, and you need to lean into that. It's going to really benefit you. There's a sense of you really being sort of mysterious as well, and use that to your benefit. Like, of course, the right people for you that you can let your guard down around, they're going to be obvious to you. I'm just talking about the people that really like have sort of this fictional idea about who you are, that you're going to fix all of their wounds and help them and heal them or inspire them, and they just want you to be sort of a supporting cast member. They're definitely going to see your beauty and your sexiness, and they're going to think that you're really hot, but they kind of have an ulterior motive. So allow them to just, keep them at arm's length is the sense that I get. Bridge, successfully overcoming a problem. Yes, I've already talked about that. You're able to overcome problems, you're able to unlock doors, and the bridge also, you're able to really like see the behind the veil. Many of you might have strong intuition, you have psychic abilities. Some of you might be able to get downloads, or you get insight through the dream state. Like many of you might wake up and you've had a song or a tune playing in your head, and that might be a breakout hit for you, or there's just like a couple of words, and write all of that stuff down. There's like, you have to practice this. Like, I don't always say in the intro that sometimes we choose the wrong pile, and it's a matter of like practice to like get the right pile, but it's absolutely true. And you might have unlocked new psychic spiritual gifts that you have to sort of lean into and practice, but you definitely are a bridge. And maybe you're also helping to connect people, and people find that really sexy. There's a sense of really being able to communicate. Like maybe you're able to just talk to anyone, and you give them, like, you put them at ease, and they feel like you're just such a people person. And maybe some of them actually think that you're quite flirty. Maybe you're just being friendly. Maybe you are being flirty. Maybe that's another quality that you have. There's a sense of like you pulling people together. Grasshopper, situation in the balance that requires careful handling. And grasshoppers are associated with abundance, or taking a leap of faith, or being able to move great distances towards a goal. So you are strategic about how you handle situations, which is excellent. Your ability to network and navigate is super hot. People are really impressed at your, okay, this isn't going to resonate for all of you, but what just came forward is speed to market. You're able to really take a leap of faith, and maybe the product isn't completely ready, but you're like, we want to be first. So we're just going to push ahead, and we'll figure out the problems once we're already, out there, meeting with clients, meeting with customers. You really know how to potentially walk through landmines is what's coming forward. Like, you know how to pull the strings to get what you need or what you want. You might even have like gifts that are related to strategic manipulation. And I don't mean in a toxic way. You just use other people's vulnerabilities to your benefit. But that isn't necessarily a bad thing. If someone is underestimating you, for example, then you don't have to fight them face to face and be very direct, trying to prove that you're worth something. Just allow them to underestimate you. It helps you to be able to move without resistance, because they're never going to think that you're going to outshine them. And then you can just be like the tortoise and the hare. Let the hares assume that you're never going to beat them. And then you just slowly, diligently move into the lead. Dog, far away, a distant friend is thinking of you. Yeah, once people get a taste of your energy, they, you know, they have a really hard time letting you go. There are exes that still think about you. There are ex-employers that now really see how amazing you were, that they look back at the past and think, damn, we really should have done everything that we could to keep this person. We should have listened to their ideas. We shouldn't have tried to control them as much. There's this sense of like, you need to sort of play by your own rules, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some of you might have found that like people tried to like put you in your place or make you follow the rules, or there was this sense of like they're stifling you. That isn't going to work. I mean, it's going to blow up in their faces. And if you do that again, it's dimming your light. It's like taking away from your brilliance. You need to be that fiery energy, that transformational energy. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, so there's this sense of, again, working well with teams. You having some sort of ability that is like skill mastery. This particular image is showing people talking about the construction that's going to happen on this historical building. One of these people is a carpenter or a stonemason, and the other 2 people are holding the plans for this beautiful, ornate archway. So there's this sense of like you being able to work with other creative people. You have the vision. You're able to sort of plan what the larger project is going to be. If you are a creative person, like you want to be able to put together a band, or like there's something creative that you want to do with other creative people, you should definitely be stepping into a leadership role. And I think that your ability to be in that leadership position and to delegate and keep order out of chaos is also something that is really sexy, that people find that like that you're uncompromising too is what's coming forward, and people are just so impressed by that. And I know in your pile there are a lot of these messages that are coming forward about how other people are seeing you, which I think is great, because what it means is that many of you have transformed yourself to enough that the public opinion of you is more in alignment with who you truly are. It's not as much of a secret. The people in your life are seeing you the same way that spirit sees you, which is a mark of your own evolution and growth. That's excellent. Hedonist, and it says, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrate the beauty in yourself. So the sense that I get from this card is that you really like the beautiful things in life. You likely will spend money on experiences, or possibly even, your wardrobe, or the food that you eat, or the place that you live, that bring you this sense of beauty and joy. Like, you're not just experiencing all of the joy in your own mind. Like, you really do love like the physical pleasures of life. You might be a very sensual person as well. You might be very connected with nature. There is this sort of like earthy mother nature, but in its most sensual form that's coming forward, and a strong feminine energy that's coming forward as well. Next, you received curiosity. People are very curious. This is such a sexy pose too, with like this sort of skirt that's showing a bit of her butt and her legs here. Many of you have like an hourglass figure, very feminine figure. You have beautiful hair. Again, there's this like beautiful headdress, and maybe you're wearing large earrings. That's a huge trend that's coming back, like huge statement earrings. She's wearing armbands and bracelets and like a belly chain. So accessories might be a big thing for you. And there's all these butterflies, which again are a symbol of transformation. But I do think that many of you have like beautiful eyes as well. Like the eyes on this figure are gorgeous. The eyes on the stitched soul are also really standing out. You might have curly hair or dark hair. Purple might also be a color that looks really good on you. Purple can also be connected to the third eye, but there's a lot of purple in a lot of these cards. But people are extremely curious. They're probably asking about you. There's a sense of you having a real interest in life and different cultures, and you're maybe picking up a lot of hobbies, or you're curious about what you can do next. How can you push things a little bit further? How can we transform this? And like, you might have strong air energy in your chart as well. Specifically, it's strongly feeling like Gemini, but it could also be Libra and Aquarius. There's just this, and you might be online a lot as well. There's just this strong sense of you being a perpetual learner, constantly trying to reshape and revive and renew things. Queen, yeah, you've leveled up. This is mastery energy. You've leveled up. You're seen as a queen, really in charge of your own life. Again, with this purple, so much purple here. You might be someone who's like a leader of your community as well. There's this sense of people really coming to you and wanting answers, wanting direction. The rainbows here make me think of the LGBTQ plus community. So you might be a leader in the queer community. And like, again, there's sort of this hourglass figure that I'm seeing, and beautiful, beautiful green eyes, and then amber eyes are strongly coming forward. The captain, oh my God, yes. Okay, so you do have strong leadership abilities. And the lanterns, that's also a sign connected to Hecate, that she's always shown, or traditionally she's shown with a lantern because she's leading people out of the darkness. Take command, teamwork. Yeah, people find your ability to work with other people, to give them a helping hand, to collaborate with them, to maybe shine a light through the darkness, to help them with their creative blocks, to help things grow where there might have been stagnancy, to take some of the worst aspects of your life and to transform that into a powerful message that inspires people. It's sexy. It is hot. People are obsessed. They're consumed by this. And if you can really tap into this even more, you will be able to reach this star energy. If that's something that you would be interested in, of course, right? Either you could take this in the direction of becoming a star, or you could just be really empowered in your own life. That some of you might be secretly doing a lot of this behind closed doors, and a lot of the creative work that you're connected to will be found after you've passed on, and then your legacy will will rise. Like there's loads of people that do so many creative, incredible things, and nobody knows that they did it until after they've passed on. I mean, honestly, Van Gogh is a perfect example of that. He did not become famous until his brother's widow started to approach galleries and really powerful collectors and start talking about how important his work was way after he was dead. So that might be your story as well. And for many of you, it's about tapping into that emotional energy that helps you to level up spiritually. Bat flower, power of madness. Okay, so some of you are really tapped into that chaos, Uranus energy. You know, like some of the things that you do or say might seem a little bit kooky or crazy or wild to people, and you embrace that. Like some of you capitalize on it. That like energy of it's so out there that no one is going to get this is the exact thing that's going to catapult you towards fame. And it's definitely sexy. It's definitely sexy. There is this sense of, for some of you, you might actually have struggles with mental health. And that is also connected to this high-low energy that I've been picking up on. But your struggles will also be your success. If you feel like you don't know if you'll ever get to a point where you can really accept that part of yourself, then that's the big roadblock for you getting through and breaking through. But there is this sense that, and some people maybe they like this for the wrong reasons, right? Some people might see your vulnerabilities or your struggles with mental health or your wild, weird craziness as something that's really sexy because they feel like you're vulnerable in some way. But boy, are they wrong. I mean, if you could just see what your life will be like in the future, you would never second guess yourself. I promise you, like, you've got this royal energy. You are the captain. You are meant to lead, even if that's just in your own life. Concentration. And here we are with Saturn as well as Gemini energy. Number 3. So yeah, people say some crazy stuff about you. There might have been a lot of rumors that went around about you, like the crazy weird decisions that you've made or some of the karmic situations that you've been in. But if they're talking about you, that's a good thing. There is no bad publicity. You can utilize that to open up doors, connect with people. Sometimes being, considered a little bit dangerous or maybe even a little bit infamous in some way can really, really start a fire in your life that can bring about that massive transformation, like that tower falling and then you transform into the phoenix. There's this sense of always focus on what the goal is. What is your guide? What is your North Star? Some of you need to look into your astrology chart and also find out where your North Node is. And that'll give you a clue. You also want to find out where Saturn is in your chart. Maybe look at what's in the 3rd house. Look at where your Gemini placements are. Speak your future into being. And just be mindful that other people might not have your best interests at heart and you don't have to show them your hand. Let them talk. There's something here that's beyond your control. We do all have free will. You get to choose whether you're going to choose pathway 1 or pathway 2 or pathway 3. But sometimes there are certain situations that you have to experience. Those are, fated events. And there's this sense that some of this is fated for you. You couldn't avoid it if you tried. Joke's on you. Yeah, you have a sense of humor about things. I think that you also know how to poke fun at people in a healthy way. They find you really funny, which is extremely sexy as well. And you can laugh at yourself. Like you don't take life so seriously. Like even the topics that are serious, like you might have a dark sense of humor, and that's also really sexy. Like you're able to talk about the worst aspects of your life or your experiences and your struggles, and you can bring humor to it, which sort of disarms people. It helps them to be at ease and open up and like hear your message. Some of the most powerful messages have come through humor. You know, like some of the best stand-up comedians are delivering really powerful political messages, but we can handle it and listen to it because that humor sort of disarms us. There's a sense of like you also, going back to, I'm being guided back to this other card, you're able to really concentrate on things too. Like what is our main goal? And you just keep going towards that. And then your final card, oh, wild! Rose quartz cat. It says unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion. The heart chakra is mentioned, as well as Libra and Taurus. I am filled with compassion for myself and others. Rose quartz is a stone of unconditional love of others and oneself. It carries a high vibration that is warm and soothing. It's used to balance all of the chakras. It leads us to compassion and positive self-esteem. And then there is a plant. It says jewelweed, love, compassion, attraction. So the more you tap into that energy, the more you're going to attract the kinds of things that you want. The hotter, sexier, more high vibrational you become, the more you manifest the things that you want. You might actually want to work with rose quartz. I mean, it's come out twice. So before we close out your reading, let me just pull a couple of closing messages about what makes you so hot. Labyrinth, transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration, enlightenment. The labyrinth, the story of the labyrinth comes from ancient Greek mythology, the island of Crete, where there was the labyrinth constructed so that it could contain the Minotaur. And the Minotaur was used as a threat against the opposing forces of Crete. And through many twists and turns, it ended with like a lot of incredible twists and turns in Greek mythology. But ultimately, the Minotaur was defeated, and the daughter of Minos, who was the king, was also liberated, and she actually went on to marry Bacchus, who is a god. Anyways, I'm rambling now. So there's this sense that you are going to get your way through the labyrinth. You're going to overcome whatever monster is hiding in your closet. You're going to be able to liberate yourself and then align with other higher vibrational people. And you might want to look into the god Bacchus, who is connected to wine and dance and creativity. For those of you who are sort of witchy, that might be an energy that you want to work with. And then final card. What is so hot about you? Choice. By staying conscious in your thoughts, you guide your journey in the direction of choice. The choices that you made, your ability to have free will, your fearlessness in the face of opposition, your ability to navigate through really complex obstacles and come out winning at the end, even if you're willing to lose some things, right? Like I was mentioning with the daughter of Minos, she had to walk away from her entire family. She was considered to have been a traitor. But I mean, there's fantastic mythology and books that will explain the whole story. Look into that, because it's your ability to choose and to overcome any of these obstacles, any of the hardships, that will really elevate you to like your true position as a leader and a star. And that is what makes you so hot, pile number 1. So I would love to know your thoughts on this reading. This was really, really, really powerful. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Like I was saying in the intro, if you would like to continue gaining really specific messages that resonate with you, the more you engage with this reading, the better. And if any of you are interested in having a one-on-one personal reading with me, you can go to my website, odessamal.com, and you can book a session with me there. I am sending you so much love. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So as I mentioned in the intro, this reading is revealing all of your hottest qualities, and these messages are coming from the perspective of spirit. So some of the messages might also be reflective or represent the opinions of people in your life, but my primary goal with this reading is to really help you to understand exactly what tools you have in your toolkit, what are the core qualities that you can use to create the life that you deserve and that you want. And sometimes when we really focus on the externals, we don't really give ourselves a chance to see who we authentically are, because the people in our lives are also going through highs and lows, and they're faced with their own uncertainty and distortions of self, and sometimes they can project onto us. So I will definitely mention if these messages that are coming forward are also representative of the people in your life, but the primary focus is finding out what the truth is. And we can only get that from spirit. And of course, if this reading isn't resonating for you, like I mentioned in the intro, you might want to go and pick another pile. There's no shame in that at all. Sometimes we just have to practice attuning our skills so that we can consistently choose the pile that is most closely representative of us. And the more you engage with this reading, the easier it is for me to connect with your energy and channel messages that are meant for you. So commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that really, really helps. So keep that in mind. And of course, if you want a reading where all of the messages will resonate with you, you can book a session with me, and you can go to my website, odessamal.com, and you can see all of my booking information there. So let's get into this reading. These items that you selected are our starting point. These are the first messages. So first, you selected this beautiful pink flower from my garden. Now, I don't know if you watched last week's reading, but this bunch of flowers was from last week. This was cut more than 7 days ago, and it still looks good. Like, look at the leaves and everything. Like, you likely look way younger than you actually are. There's this freshness, this youthfulness. You might really take your personal hygiene, beauty, fashion quite seriously. You really take care of yourself. You go to the gym, or you eat really healthy, or you do other things that really nourish you. You get enough rest. You don't drink too much coffee or alcohol. There's just this sense of you're taking care of yourself and you're looking better than your peers maybe. So I'm just going to set this aside, but I'm going to allow this to have a little drink of water. We'll just put that right there. Next, we've got this little crown charm. So you have royal energy. You potentially have this really royal or very luxurious sense of style. Maybe you look very expensive. Maybe your wardrobe is very expensive. You might have invested in really amazing pieces, or you just might have a talent for fashion and styling, and you really know how to put yourself together. Your hair might be a strong feature for you as well. You might also be strongly connected with your ancestors or with spirit, because the crown, of course, makes me think of the crown chakra, which is being able to see things from an enlightened point of view and really having a strong connection with your spiritual self and your guides. So I'm going to put this aside. There's a couple more messages that are coming forward from that. You might be in a leadership position, and that is also really sexy. So the way you look, your personal style, your regalness, your authority, all of that, super hot. People really recognize it. And this is like a core trait. I'm strongly getting Leo energy from this. So you might have strong Leo placements in your chart. Next, we've got this really adorable little spell jar with the little pink scroll on the inside. There's a sense of there's like hidden knowledge that you are potentially working on things to create something for yourself behind the scenes. You don't reveal all of your secrets, which is giving me Scorpio energy. You might be magical or you're witchy. You might have different spiritual practices that you use that involve spell jars. There's also this sense of like a message in a bottle, where you might be able to deliver information to people and have an impact on them, and you don't even know them. So that makes me think that you might be online, you might be doing something with social media and you're really influencing people, but you might also have a role in your job or in your community where you're playing some sort of role and it's really benefiting people. And there's this sense of people really being inspired. There's also this sense of like your communication style is really sexy. Maybe you leave a lot to the imagination. Like there's a sense of like indirect communication, that you give hints about what you want. And maybe you have this very sort of soft, genteel is the word that's coming forward, way of flirting with people. Like the pink also makes me think of feminine energy. Interesting. Let's put that aside. And then we've got this piece of cork with the evil eye charm on it. So you are able to deflect negative energy or envy. People, like I can see from the crown that people, and your youth and like your ability to sort of like manifest for yourself or to be able to like create things for yourself in unexpected or subtle ways, definitely being something that people would envy. But there's this sense of you're able to really protect yourself. So you might have a lot of friends or strong community around you that just love you so much that they would never listen to the gossip or the negative things that other people are saying around you, or you just don't sweat the small stuff. And that's really, really hot. Like your charisma, but your confidence is so sexy. There's this sense too that you're able to sort of see the negative energies in your life, and you likely are editing those people out of your life. You're keeping them at a distance. So there's this sense, again, with the social media or you being a public person in some way, like some of these people are envying you and they don't really know you. And then the cork. So you might be someone who's able to sort of like rise above the turmoil, like cork floats on water. You can go with like just kind of go with the flow of things, or you're able to sort of like close off an argument. Like you're able to like cap the bottle. And if there is turmoil or there's negativity, you're able to just like put a pin in it basically and keep that kind of destruction out of your life. Yeah, there's this strong, and maybe you're not a very gossipy person either. Like you don't look at people as being beneath you, or you're not jealous or envious of them. You do your own thing, and you're quite like happy with that. You don't compare yourself to other people, and that is a super sexy quality. Okay, let's get into these cards. I'm going to do one at a time. So, oh yes, that definitely makes sense with the energy that's already come forward. Lakshmi, goddess of fortune and abundance. So you definitely are an extremely attractive person, regardless of how you see yourself. Others definitely see you as really sexy. I think that for some of you, you might have had people who, there's this sense from this that you might be someone who has a unique form of beauty, that you might have felt like you didn't fit the beauty standard at some point, but it was actually your uniqueness that was the gateway for you being this sex symbol, is what I want to say. And like to compare that to like a real life example. So most runway models are not what we would classically say is beautiful. There's something unique or unusual or sometimes even strange about them. But they're some of the most beautiful people in the entire world. There's something like unique and unusual about you. Maybe you're from a different place in the world, like you have a different ethnic background and you've moved to a place where you're unique and different, or you're like quote unquote exotic. There's just this sense of like whatever you're doing to be different is what is attracting people to you. And it's taken you some time to see the power of that within yourself. For some of you, you've actually had a lot of people sort of be quite hostile or mean. Like you've learned to move beyond this evil eye energy and rise above it, because some people were quite jealous of you and they tried to belittle or demean you, and you finally had the veil sort of ripped away from your eyes and you were able to see that it wasn't truth. They weren't, when they would make fun of you or they would make you feel like you were awkward or strange, it was just because they didn't want you to see how beautiful you actually are. And I think many of you are getting wise to this, or you are already wise to this. Oh, interesting. So 28, and that comes back to the number 10. Pile number 1 also had the number 10. So some of you might be watching multiple piles. You've had to complete cycles. Like you've come to these conclusions, or you will come to these conclusions, seeing your own power and beauty and your ability to carry yourself in a unique, luxurious way. Because you've been bullied or you've been belittled or you've been targeted in some way, and you're just going to stop caring what other people think. And that's when the floodgates really open up for you. And for some of you, you have like sort of risen above where you came from. Not that you think that you're better, but it's like climbing up the socioeconomic ladder. Like maybe you grew up in a community or within a family where you didn't have a lot, and you have made your way to a position in your life where you're making a really good salary, or you're married to someone who has a lot of money, or you know, you're being publicly recognized in some way, and that's bringing a lot of opportunities to you. It's like you definitely, there's a certain amount of luck that's coming from this. And you might have a really, really good Jupiter placement in your chart. Okay. Next, turn your sexy on. Yeah, like you have might have a beautiful hourglass figure. You might have very long, beautiful hair. There's this sense of beautiful skin. Some of you might have like wavy hair. You might have dark hair. You might have blonde hair. There's this sense of you being like classically feminine in some way. You might have like sort of pear-shaped hips, and that might be something that you didn't like. But there's a sense, okay, there's a couple of things that are coming forward. It's like growing up at a time when who you naturally were wasn't the beauty standard, right? Like growing up in a time when skinny, super skinny, was the ideal, and you have a very womanly hourglass figure. And then all of a sudden, it's like everything shifts and you find yourself being exactly the ideal or exactly in the right place at the right time, where your physical beauty is seen as like you're a 10. Absolutely. You're a 10 is what's coming forward. And I get the sense that for many of you, you also just have naturally a beautiful body. So you might have a beautiful chest, you have beautiful hips, beautiful legs, beautiful arms, that you, like I said before, you have beautiful clear skin, you have gorgeous hair, very like, it feels like thick and long hair. Maybe that's growing out of your head. Maybe you bought that. Like, it doesn't matter. People think it's absolutely stunning. You're just so hot. But like for many people, they would never let you know that. Either they don't want you to know, like I mentioned before, or they just feel like you are so out of their league, they wouldn't even talk to you. They would feel like, that you get complimented all the time, and they might not want to help like inflate your ego. Okay, so you are meant to be sexy. You are meant to be hot in this life, however you define that, right? You get to do whatever you want with this beauty. But there is the opinion of other people that's coming forward is that for many of you, people have seen your beauty as a privilege that likely opens doors for you, and they want to humble you. And I think that that is so wrong. Like, that's so gross. And people don't realize that being beautiful is not always a blessing. You get a lot of attention you don't necessarily want. And like I just said, people want to like humble you because they think that your life has been so easy, even though they have no idea what kind of negative energy or attention that kind of beauty can bring. And the sense that I get is that you've been beautiful your whole life. So that might really resonate for you. Commit. Beautiful. Okay, so you're very committed to your goals. You don't shy away from hard work. I think that you have a lot of ideas too. There's this sense of you having like this sort of utopian vision of what your life is going to look like. There's a sense of you likely know that something powerful and special is meant for you. Some people might have in the past, because there is this sense that you have a lot of haters, right? Like there's a sense of like, for many of you, you might not resonate with a lot of the things I'm saying, because I think a lot of people have told you, you're not smart and you can't accomplish this. And, you have a big ego and you should be more humble. And like, honestly, you have so many haters and jealous people. You really do need to protect yourself if you haven't already figured out how to do that. And I encourage you that if you're open to it, if it resonates or you're drawn to it, do some magic, do protection spells, do things that will help you to deflect a lot of this evil eye energy, and just stop listening to these people, because they're distorting your perceptions and they're totally off base. There's this sense that you kind of always had a dream or a plan of something that you wanted to do, and people around you, it feels like people that have been quite close to you, teachers, family members, even partners have said, you really think you could ever accomplish that? And they're saying that because they don't want you to leave them. They want you to second guess yourself. And it's meant for you, and it's being channeled to you from spirit, and it's part of your birthright, and you have to let those people go, and you have to move towards your goals, because you are being gifted with an opportunity that is absolutely meant for you. And there is this sense of there's going to be lots of different obstacles. Saturn is here on this card. Okay, so there's going to be highs and lows. Some things are going to work out for you. Some things are not going to work out for you. That's okay. It's all in the interest of you gaining the skills needed to be able to be at the right energy or have the right insights when it's time to manifest this major opportunity for yourself. Try everything. Even if you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't know what this big, opportunity is for you. It's a matter of you trying out a whole bunch of things. You don't have any hobbies? Great. What are you sort of interested in? What have you seen happening in your city? Take a baking class, take a dance class, go in, try and learn how to crochet, learn how to oil paint. Try it all, because there's a sense of you really getting creative, opening up doorways. It's going to align you with different people. And there's a sense of you being seen, sharing your creativity. So you might, if you bought a house and you are renovating it, set up a TikTok account and start video recording every change that you're making inside that house. There's just this sense of beauty, creativity being really important. Show your aesthetics, show your luxury. Pathless, difficult decisions, lack of direction. For many of you, you don't know what direction you're meant to go in, and that's the direction you're meant to go in. You're not supposed to pick one path. Some people are supposed to be singularly focused on one task. Others are supposed to be diversifying and trying lots of different things, because when it's time, all of those little independent pieces will form together and show you one picture, like a puzzle. You have to form all of the puzzle pieces before you can put the picture together. So don't get down on yourself. I always say this in every reading. There's always one pile that resonates for me that has sort of ADHD energy, and this is it. Welcome. I love ADHD energy. I resonate with it strongly. Try it all. And there's this sense of, again, with people sort of feeling like things aren't tough enough for you. And they are you've had more than your share of struggles. Look at this with this evil eye here on this palm. It's looks so similar to this eye charm. Yeah, people are jealous and they feel like you're getting help that they deserve, and then things need to be more difficult for you. Don't get deflated by that, and try and not lean too much into resentment when it comes to these people. Try and understand that they're fighting their own demons. Help the people that you feel you want to help, right? You don't have to help everyone. Help the people that are willing to also help themselves. There's a sense of collaborating with other people. And the more you help people, or you help the right people is what your guides want me to say, the more you're going to find that you have support and a perspective on yourself, or a collective energy that sees you as more than just skin deep. Yeah, for many of you, I feel like you either are or you're meant to be influencers. That you're going to rise out of your little community or your family where everyone is judging you and you're the black sheep and nobody sees your light, or they don't want to see your light. And you're going to find your audience online, and you're going to connect with those people that support you, and you're going to end up aligning with maybe other content creators, and you're going to build something beautiful together. And the haters, you're just going to leave them behind. You're going to block those people. Red jasper, and the card says nurturing, grounding, tranquility, and there's earth energy on this card as well. Root chakra, Aries, Taurus, that definitely makes sense with Lakshmi. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so it's strong, like luxury, beauty. Aries, strong, fiery energy, willing to like chase after your dreams. I am stronger when I am supported and nurtured. Oh my God, that's so wild. Okay, red jasper works gently and slowly to ground energies. It is a nurturing stone for those that are sensitive, and it aids in stabilizing the aura. It comforts us in times of stress and provides us courage. And there's a plant, stone crop, tranquility, peace, nurturing. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I do not look at these cards. I randomly select the cards and I try and not look at them at all. I think this plant is stone crop. That is freaking wild. I love the way that spirit works. This is definitely stone crop. That is wild. I am blown away. I had no idea. I don't know if you guys watched the last reading, but I was asking if anyone knew what this plant was because my neighbors planted it. I've never known what it was. That's definitely the same plant. Okay, that is a major synchronicity that these cards are meant for you. Okay, I've lost my train of thought now. I'm so like blown away by that. Yeah, there's this sense that like the more you get into your grounded, stable energy, the hotter you become. It's the confidence that's going to be so sexy. Okay, next. And you might want to work with red jasper. For those of you who are crystal enthusiasts, you might want to work with this crystal. It's relatively inexpensive. I can show you. Obviously, you can see it there. But this is also a piece of red jasper. It can just look like this, like muddy brown color. I love this stone. Okay, next, let's see. Yarrow, bravery and battle. So there's a sense of you like defending yourself, defending other people. Maybe you have a certain perspective or a certain message you want to share. You're willing to defend those that you love, and your courage is something that's very enticing, very sexy. Like lean into that power. There's a sense of like, you are your own unique beauty. Look at how beautiful this creature is. And it's an amalgamation of so many different animals. There's like, it's got hooves on for the front two legs. And then there's like bird legs on the back. And then there's sort of like feathered tail. And then the head sort of looks like a dog or a wolf. And it's got antlers. And then of course the wings. Like, you are your own unique form of beauty, a mix of your cultural heritage, your family, your genetics, your experiences, your exposure to different aesthetics, and your own passions, your own spiritual insights as well. Take that on. Be brave as you move into this place of authenticity and fight for your own uniqueness. Fight for what you believe in or what you think the world needs, and take the people with you that support you and love you, because you're going to be building something collectively together. Some sort of beautiful, this looks like this gorgeous, either like a temple, or it could be, because there's like stars in the windows, or it could be some sort of like beautiful, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a kingdom, a castle, that kind of thing. Acquisition. There's so many cards that are coming out that talk about like beauty and luxury. We've got Taurus here as well. Oh, that's wild. I love that. And the sun. And then we've got number 2. And I think that I mentioned Leo before. Obviously the sun is connected to Leo. So you've gone through lots of transformations with the snakes. Lean into your beauty. You might really like historical fashion. You might be a collector of historical fashion, or you like cosplay, or you like performance. Maybe you're involved in like theater or stage productions. There's this sense of like you are unexpected. You're bringing something unexpected to the table. You don't look like other people, and that is your power. Don't turn away from that. That's what really makes you hot. Good things come in threes. Okay, powerful. So this particular card is talking about the three muses, or, you know, like a triple goddess. This particular card is talking about a triple goddess that's connected to Greek mythology and connected to the energy of like the muses, connected to creative expression, and they're also connected to bees, so pollinating, you know, and also like that cross-pollination, creating different types of plants, different types of blooms and growth, things that maybe are unexpected. You're able to do that. You're going to be working with other people, or you already are working with other people that inspire you. But like there's just so much unexpected beauty here as well, with these gorgeous wings that they have on their backs. Like they look kind of like dragonfly or fairy wings. And then they've got these bustles on the back that look like bees, the striped body of the bee. And then they're wearing these like elaborate togas and all of these jewels. Do what's unexpected. That's what makes you hotter and hotter and hotter. Good things come in threes. So connect with the number 3 as well. You might see 333 on the clock quite a bit, or you might want to start planning your outfits around the number 3. You know, like you're going to be wearing 3 accessories at a time, or you want to like wear the number 3. Like maybe you've got a ring or a bracelet or a necklace that has the number 3 on it. Or like there's you and 2 other people that you're like creating maybe a podcast, maybe you have a YouTube channel together, maybe you're working together, like you're a designer. You're like, there's just something there about 3, water here, flow, creative energy. Yeah, the more you lean into that collaborative energy, the more you don't try and force it. You just allow yourself to like go with the flow of creativity, the better off you're going to be. Here, the star. Yeah, you're meant to be seen. You're meant to be known. There is something inspirational about you. It is part of your birthright is what's coming forward. That again, your beautiful body is coming forward. Aquarius energy, technology, being an influencer, or connecting even with like modern technology related to your work. There's just something again with like going with the flow. And also being extremely empathetic and compassionate. Like maybe some of the struggles that you have had is also a key to your message that you're sharing with people. There's a sense of like Aquarius is the water bearer, carrying emotions, carrying burdens, sharing that insight with people. Romance. Romantic surprises are on the horizon. Be open to them. People feel very romantic towards you. You come across to people that encounter you as like the type of person that they would want to have a long-term connection with. They want to marry you, or they have fantasies. They romance. You come across as very romantic, so maybe you're very poetic, or there's something about the way that you dress. Maybe it's quite feminine. There's again this historical fashion energy that's coming forward here. Maybe you also just have this very romantic viewpoint of life. You're waiting for your prince or princess to have like this deep romance, but I think a lot of people fantasize about you. I think that for those of you who are going to be like really in the public eye and very famous, you might even have people writing fan fiction about you. Or maybe you're inspired by fan fiction. Maybe you're writing fan fiction and that's what's gonna like elevate you. Haunted doll. Unsettling yet alluring childhood memories with lingering shadows play with the past. Again, this historical, for some of you, it's like, if you're interested in historical fashion, then set up a TikTok. Or I watched this, I can't remember her name. I wish I could. If some of you know who I'm talking about, just add it to the comments, please, please, please. I watched this amazing creator on TikTok, and it does interior decorating where she thrifts everything for these themed bedrooms, and she just did this new bedroom that's all pirate themed. I know it sounds kooky, but it is like the most luxurious, beautiful room. And she did a gorgeous, like sort of romantic Victorian room where everything was white, and it had this sort of like vampire energy to it. I don't know. That probably sounds really crazy to all of you guys. I watch a lot of really unique, interesting creators online, but there's a sense of like, you might resonate with that or you connect with that. Like, there's something about the past that makes you super sexy, super hot. And the more you lean into that, the better off you're going to be. For some of you, maybe you are a little bit witchy. Like I was saying before, there's something a little bit intimidating, a little unsettling, but that makes you even more intoxicating. Like, people might be too afraid to actually approach you, but they fantasize about being with you. You have really enticing eyes. There's a sense of you having very large or very round eyes that just sort of draw people in. And honestly, for some of you, again, this is kind of in the flavor of neurodivergency to a certain degree. But for some of you, you might have sort of a flat affect, and that just makes you even more mysterious. And there's lots of content creators that really have capitalized on that. Like, they're delivering content and their voice is very flat and monotone, or they're a little bit robotic with the way that they sort of like deliver their content. And that might be something that's really, really working out for you, or it helps to create some sort of mystique around you. Designer. Okay, that makes so much sense. So for some of you, you might be fashion designers or you're interior designers. The card says you're being called to embrace your individuality and express yourself. A career in fashion, art, or any artistic endeavor could be perfect for you. Think creatively about your finances. It might be time to uncover a new talent. So this is reinforcing everything I already talked about. Go with all of those little passion projects, all of those little side quests. That's part of your journey. That's important. Be as creative as possible. Be flamboyant. Be different. Be unique. Even if it seems really out there, do that just online if you feel uncomfortable doing it in your day-to-day. At some point, you're going to align with the right people and you are going to be authentically you at all times. But if some of you have dreams or aspirations of having your own brand or working for a brand, being a designer, it is meant for you. You're extremely good at it. It's one of your hottest qualities. Like, not only are you super sexy, but you create something that is really sexy and really hot, and you make other people feel really hot. For some of you, you might be designing wedding dresses or prom dresses. Like, there's something about you creating beautiful designs connected to love and romance. Next, beloved wisdom. Love is a choice you make every day, so choose wisely. Always choose what you love. And again, there's that energy of maybe some of you are involved in the wedding industry or romance. Maybe you're a wedding photographer, or maybe you're a makeup artist. There's a sense of love, like that strongly being part of this, this like energy, or this element that makes you so sexy, makes you so hot. Hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. So you're willing, going back to this pathless card, I think you're willing to accept help when others offer it. I don't think that you feel shame for that. You're also willing to help others. It's just a matter for you of recognizing who's worthy of help and who isn't. Sometimes people have to struggle on their own, and it's for their highest and best good. We can learn a lot when we have to solve our own problems. But yeah, you likely also have beautiful hands. You have beautiful, really sexy hands. Maybe you have very long fingers. Maybe there's something about the jewelry that you wear, or you have tattoos on your hands. And work, achievement, success. Yeah, you're willing to work very hard, and your work is collaborative in some way. And I think that when you come together with these other people, you're going to move mountains. It's going to be a powerful change. You might be involved in a startup that becomes something huge and transformational. Child, orphan, the light attribute says independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of survival. So I think that you were in isolation, you were abandoned. There was something about you not being seen within your community or within your family. And you are either now going through this process, or you already have gone through the process of disconnecting from the opinions of these people, seeing yourself authentically, allowing yourself to just contemplate that maybe they are being selfish and maybe they're wrong. And you're going to conquer your fear, and you're going to go after your dreams, or you are going after your dreams, and people are so inspired. It's super sexy to see someone healing, to see someone say, okay, well, maybe it isn't going to work out, but I'm going to try it anyways. Because what do I have to lose? I only have this one life to live as the version of me I am now. You're never going to be the person that you are right now ever again. You only get one chance at that. I believe in reincarnation, so I do believe that you're going to get chances as other people, but this is the only chance you get to be the person you are right now, so make the most of it. Create that separation from your fears. Hi, pile number 2. We lost connection. My camera died. So I'm coming back to you with the final cards for your reading. So I wanted to pull some cards and let Spirit give you a few more qualities that make you so hot. And you received abracadabra with wings. Fantastic good fortune and lucky chances. Yes, like starting with Lakshmi. You have naturally fortunate energy. There are doors that will open up to you that would be very hard for other people to access. But you have to lean into your abilities to work hard, your abilities to inspire others, to keep those doors open, to help you to move through those doors, through that room into, the next room and the next room and the next room. There's this sense of your looks and your beauty will only take you so far. And it's your charisma and your ability to inspire people that will help you to sort of move up the ladder. There's this sense of you recognizing that there is a power dynamic that is also at play. It's not just about talent. It's not just about beauty. It's also about connections. It's also about how you make other people feel. It's about that indirect communication. And you utilizing some of your abilities to use magic, right? Like abracadabra is a spell. So your ability to use magic to also create opportunities for you is really, really important. And it's also one of your magnetic qualities, one of those qualities that just make you super sexy, super desirable. Your ability to possibly transcend any of the socioeconomic barriers that have been in place for maybe other members of your family, and to be able to like move up that social ladder is like just a really sexy quality. Okay, let's get one more card for you. What is another hot or sexy quality that pile number 2 possesses? Inner alchemy. Inner alchemy is achieved when you react to fear with love. You're meant to be a leader. You're meant to inspire people and show them that they don't have to always be the accumulation of their darkest days or their trauma, that they can take all of those hardships or the restrictions or the judgments of others, and they can use that as fuel for their fire to push them even harder to be more authentic, and that you can come out on the other side, and that authenticity can help you to stand out, to be completely unique and be a leader in some way. Like, you're also going to show people how to forgive. For some of you, you're going to be working in a space where you're helping people with their own hardships or traumas. You're developing some sort of pathway for them, and people are going to see that as like so inspiring. It's so sexy. It's so hot that you're able to be beautiful and intelligent and creative and inspiring, and also work within the power system that already exists. This isn't just about like burning it all down. Although I do think that you have some of that energy, that you have that ability to be able to completely go rogue. You're going to like go off of the path, right? You have like no plan here. You're just like sort of making it up as you go. But you're going to present that in a way that helps others to feel comfortable with that and to use their own core abilities to alchemize a different future for themselves as well. There's like this real team-like energy here. So that concludes your reading, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to know your thoughts if you would like to share a comment with me. And as I mentioned before, the more you engage with the content, the more you're giving me permission to access your energy and to directly channel messages that are meant for you. So obviously subscribing to the channel is a big help, but also liking, sharing, commenting, all of that is excellent. And if any of you would like to work with me one-on-one, you can go to my website, odessamall.com, and you can book a session with me there. So I am sending you so much love. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So as I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about your hottest, sexiest qualities from the perspective of spirit. Now, of course, some of the messages that come forward are also going to mirror the opinions of people that are in your life. But the purpose of this reading is to really help you see yourself authentically. And we don't always see our best assets in the correct light. We undervalue ourselves. We're influenced by the negative opinions of other people. And I want you to know all of your hottest and best talents and all of your best assets, so you know what tools are in your toolkit. You can use these hot qualities to help you achieve the things that you want in life. But if you don't know what those qualities are, how can you utilize any of them? So keep that in mind when the messages are coming forward. Some of these messages might not click for you, and it might just be because you haven't realized that you have these qualities. Now, it's always possible that that message is for someone else. So only take on what resonates, leave the rest. If you feel like the entire pile isn't clicking for you, I recommend going back to the pick a pile section of the intro and selecting one of the other 2 piles, because you were drawn to this reading for a reason. So there's definitely messages in one of the 3 piles for you. And the more you interact with my content, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, the more you give me access to your energy, and the easier it is for me to channel messages for you. And if you would like to have a personal reading, you can go to my website, odessamall.com, and I would be happy to do a session just for you where every single message will click for you. So let's get into your reading, pile number 3. The items that you selected are our starting point. So the feather. This is connected to birds. It's also connected to angelic energy. The color white is all about purity. It can also be connected to the crown chakra. So the overall sense that I get is that you have this pure spirit. People think of you as being very innocent or naive in a way, but like they mean that in a good way. Like you have such wonder and such optimism for the future. There's this sense of you being sort of angelic. You might look very angelic. You might be very like soft features, look younger than you actually are. You might be very feminine, or in fact, you might be sort of androgynous looking. Oftentimes that's associated with angelic energy. You are likely also highly intelligent, likely a little bit spiritual or a lot spiritual, and you likely have a strong connection with your own intuition, and people just find this very alluring. It's a very sexy, hot quality to have. You might also be someone who travels quite a bit, like you've had a lot of different experiences in different areas of the world. That starts with this feather, right? The idea of flight, being able to move great distances. But it's amplified by this crystal. This is moldavite. So technically, moldavite is a tektite, so it's glass, but it was formed when an asteroid hit the Earth, and this beautiful green crystal was created. And this is a very high vibrational crystal. It's the highest vibrational crystal that I have in my collection. And it is known for bringing about radical change. It will strip away all of your insecurities with force and with speed, and force you into seeing the truth. And it can be an unsettling energy, but wow, the outcome that you get is so tremendously powerful and beautiful and fulfilling. And you hold that same kind of energy. You're a little bit otherworldly, unique. You might physically have changed the way that you look quite a bit. You might sort of dress in a way that's totally different from everyone that you're surrounded by. You might have actually come from another place, like you've relocated to the place that you live now. Some of you might resonate with the idea of star seeds. Some of you might feel like you always have felt a little bit different than other people. There's this real wisdom too. You might have felt like an old soul, like you were older than your years, or you didn't connect with your peers. There is also this sense of people meeting you and feeling so drawn to you, but some of these people their life is so transformed by you that it's actually frightening to them, that they feel sort of unsettled by it. There's this sense that you kind of carry with you this sort of transformational energy. You ask questions, or you make statements, or you expose these people to things that they need, and it's like they can't see themselves or life the same way again. And they're completely transformed. Some people love that. Some people feel unsettled by that. But all of them feel like it's a really sexy, powerful quality. Some of you might have this sort of femme fatale energy, like there's like a little bit of danger that comes forward with the Moldavite. It's kind of that Plutonian energy where you're drawn to it, but you're also repelled by it. You might have had partners that dated you and they sort of fetishized you as well. Like this could be you were dating people that had never dated someone that was from your ethnic background or your religious background or someone from your area of the city, right? You're at different socioeconomic levels. You might have had like something that set you apart, like you are conservative, they are liberal, or vice versa. Some of you might be neurodivergent. This particular crystal definitely resonates with that kind of energy. This definitely feels like for some of you it's something that people notice immediately, and because it's physical, and for others of you it's something internal. But it really sets you apart in a really powerful, dramatic way. And like you're one of those people that I think oftentimes, whether people say it or not, they've never met anyone else like you. And it's very sexy. I think they think about you when you're gone for probably a long time. Not necessarily because they're pining after you. For some of you, they absolutely are. But it's like, it's just such a powerful experience that they had in their lives. Like it marks a chapter and they can't forget you because of that. Next, we've got this charm, and it's got the oak leaf as well as the acorn. So the oak leaf is connected to wisdom and higher learning. It's also a symbol that's closely associated with the Druids. So you might have Celtic background, and you might be involved in magic. Like Druids were like high priests, definitely connected to earth magic. The sense that I get from this is, again, with the wisdom, like you're very smart, you show people or expose them to things they would never have access to otherwise, and you plant seeds in their mind that like they're just forever changed. There's this sense of them never looking at a problem the same way. It's not just your physical being that people find sexy. It's your mind, the way you work through problems, or like just the perspective you bring to the table. It is, people might like really crave that kind of energy. And you also received, or you also selected this amber heart. So the amber color is connected to the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is your center for personal empowerment. So you're motivated to transform. You're motivated to be part of the change. You might be really into social justice. There might be some sort of cause that you're just so dedicated to, and people find that inspiring. They find that sexy. You lead with the heart. You're pursuing things and involved in things because you care, not because you want praise or you want to be seen. You do it because it's meaningful to you, and people just find that intoxicating. It's so sexy. I think that you'll probably be involved in different causes your entire life. Like for some of you, that's part of your legacy. That's part of why you're here, especially if you're resonating with the idea of starseed energy, which is like spiritual mythology, connected to souls having missions, bringing in higher knowledge. Like there's just like a lot of wisdom energy that's coming forward. So let's get into these cards and see what is coming forward. So Uzume, who is a Japanese goddess. So humor, you've got a great sense of humor. People find you really funny. They feel like they're in on the joke, that you're not laughing at them, you're laughing with them. For some of you, you might not even know why people find you so funny. You're just stating your perspective and they just think it's the most hilarious thing of all, but that doesn't bother you at all. Like your ability to laugh, maybe your laugh in itself, like the way it sounds, people just find so sexy. And I think that you're able to make light of things that are maybe a little bit dark, going back to these heavier like energies with you having a cause or an insight into something that needs to be radically changed. You might be able to talk about it in a funny way that sort of disarms people and opens up their ears, and they want to hear what you have to say, which I think is also like really sexy. You keep them engaged. Kali, liberation. Okay, that makes so much sense with the Moldavites. So Kali is a Hindu goddess. She is connected to liberation, transformation. She is this powerful feminine energy that leans into dark goddess energy, and that means like the shadows, the fears, the traumas, but she also is this nurturing, mothering energy. She like holds you as you're working through the hardships, working through all of the insecurities, the parts of yourself that you've wanted to reject until you find your footing, until you find your strength. That is something that Moldavite is known for as well. So I think that you are someone who might rip the Band-Aid off, but you're also there helping people to tend to their wounds. Like you're not going to sugarcoat things. I think some of you might be very direct or very blunt. You just like cut to the truth, but you're fair, like you're honest. You're not saying things to be cruel. And you have a way with words and insight that people have to at least respect the perspective that you bring. And this strength, this power is really, really sexy. Illusion. Be aware of love's illusions. See reality clearly. So there are some projections. People project onto you what they want to see. And you can be a little bit of a shapeshifter, and you could use this to your advantage. You can present the version of yourself. Maybe there's an element of masking here, which can be good and bad. If you're masking and you're doing it to protect yourself because you don't want to be seen or you don't want people to know something about you, and it's rooted in insecurity, that is a weakness, because that means that there's some shame. You're trying to hide yourself. But if you know that you can use your abilities to use illusion and transform yourself so that you can present a version of you that will be welcomed by your audience, it can help you to deliver a message. It can help you to open up doors that might have otherwise been closed. It's like, you attract more bees with honey. That's the energy. So keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to love, there is this sense that there have been people that have been attracted to you that are not seeing you at all. They are seeing what they want to see because you make them feel a certain way. There's a sense of like manic pixie dream girl or dream boy. And, if you're aware that that's how someone is seeing you, you can sort of protect yourself, because if someone isn't really seeing you, they're not going to be the right partner for you. But there's this sense of you being very mutable, very kind of like a vision, like this illusionary energy feels to me like a chameleon. Like you're able to perform and act, and it can be extremely sensual, but there, you have to be the one that's the master of ceremonies. You have to be in control for this to be something that really, can work in your favor. But people, are really seeing what they want to. And I think overwhelmingly, most people find you to be very enticing, and it's a very hot quality. Chilling blend, expect surprises, try new quirky combinations, willing to shake things up, thrill adventures. Yeah, absolutely. I think you like to try new things, you're adventurous, maybe you've traveled quite a bit, you're able to share your insights or stories from your travels. People find it really sexy. I think that you know how to socialize, or you know how to party with people in a way that's like, I don't know, it's like you're the type of person that would go to, or at least this is how people perceive you, is the sense that I get. I'm kind of torn because Spirit is telling me that you have the ability to communicate with people and be very enticing, to, deliver a wonderful story. But I think in the eyes of other people, again, it's factoring into this illusionary energy where, for you, it might be draining at times, like you're having to perform constantly. But regardless, people find you refreshing. They find you full of insight. They might find that you come across as very abundant, like you've had rich experiences, or maybe you've made a lot of money, or there's a lot of pathways opened up to you, and you approach life in an unexpected way, and people find that so thrilling. Again, it's that manic pixie dream girl, dream boy energy that's coming forward. You might be neurodivergent. That would track with that. You live life on your own terms, and you are totally willing to completely shift and change everything. You don't care about what the old patterns were, or the old agreements, or the hierarchies, or like the established traditions. None of that matters. It's boring is the sense I get. You're like, oh, that's so boring. Why are we always doing things the same way it's always been done? You bring innovation. You bring creativity. And I think that people that are like you, that are also quirky and interesting, it's like moths to a flame. They find you so enticing, so hot, so sexy. Use that to your advantage. But like going back a little bit to what I was just saying about being in a party and feeling like you're performing, you gotta control the room. Don't put yourself in positions in rooms with people where you feel like you have to play a character for them. You can play different characters, but be in an audience of people that don't expect certain things from you, that they're also playing with life. They're also like transforming themselves. Quantum leap. Jump into new things, hop over obstacles, change awaits, embrace faith, leap into the unknown. You are somebody who's willing to take a risk. You might have done some things that other people would have been afraid to do. Like you might have decided that you're going to change your major like when you're so close to finally finishing school, and you're like, nope, I've decided this isn't for me. People find that really sexy. That, thrill-seeking energy. Maybe there are certain things that you do that are thrill-seeking activities, like skydiving, or you're doing some other extreme sport. There's also this sense of you just like, because you listen to your gut and you don't focus on fear, you just will jump forward towards what you are trying to create in your life, the opportunity, and it's like you just hop over all of these obstacles. Like, they don't seem to bother you. Now, I think from your perspective, you're probably like not allowing people to see you sweat. You know that like you don't need to allow people to see you struggle. You're going to get further ahead if they're seeing the best qualities in you. Like, you might have strong Scorpio placements for some of you. There's definitely Aquarian energy that's coming out here as well. And illusions always make me think of air energy. So that would definitely be also some Gemini energy, possibly some Libra, but I'm getting more Aquarius and Gemini with Scorpio. And Scorpio is a water sign. So the chilled blend here, that you might have strong water placements. But the thing is that I think that other people think that all of this change comes very easily for you, but it's, you know that change is inevitable and you overcome your fears. It's not as easy. You make it look easier than it actually is. Gaia, you're very connected to the earth. You appear to be very grounded. Maybe you're a little bit granola. You're a little bit like earthy in some way. Maybe you live an unconventional life and you're interested in unconventional things. And like you are more about connecting to experiences or being in nature than being in a big city and making lots of money. It's possible that these innovative ideas that and these causes that you're connected to are also connected to the earth. Like you're an environmentalist, or you're working with a company that's going to be creating products for the earth. Maybe you run your own flower farm, or you work at an organic grocery store. Or you're talking about these issues online. But the card says, trust that the universe has a bigger plan for you than you can imagine. Protecting the planet, using herbs, or working with nature in some way. Spend time in nature to heal, soothe your mind, and regroup. Yeah, there's a sense of like you also being very independent, which is really hot. Like you don't have any reservations about going out and doing things by yourself. You might have a pet, like you might have a dog where you go out on runs with your dog, or you go on hikes with your dog. You also, like the herb thing is really standing out to me. So you might be a herbalist, or you are like really into natural medicines, like you go to a naturopath, or you learn about like all of the different benefits of certain like natural medicines or natural beauty products. There is this strong earthiness that's coming forward. So you are likely a natural beauty. You might not wear any makeup, or you don't wear a lot of makeup, or you like wear a lot of natural fibers. Or, you know, you might be doing something very unconventional. Like I have seen the most incredible images and lots of videos of certain content creators on TikTok where they're putting all of these beautiful flowers in their hair. And most of these women have like very, very curly hair. And it's sort of like this beautiful halo around their head. I believe that it was inspired by a certain look that came out in the 1970s. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, I don't need to say anymore. But like this whole sort of like canopy for the tree, it's really like giving this sort of halo afro with flowers in it vibe. So you might know what I'm talking about. But there's just this like earthiness that people find really, really sexy. Okay, next, Actually, I'm being guided that it's supposed to be the other way around. All right. Masked realities beyond posing, facades, and cover-ups dare to unveil the truth hidden beneath. Let's see what this side says. Love's disguise, go beyond superficial looks and see who they truly are. Yeah, there is some masking energy here. I wouldn't be surprised if you were neurodivergent or like those strong Scorpio placements. There's this sense of like you being a little bit elusive, people not really knowing who you truly are, and they're really drawn to that. There's also the possibility that for some of you, you really see beyond people's masks, and that might be a little bit frightening for them, but it's also really sexy. Like, oh, I get to like completely be raw and authentic and let down my guard. There's this sense of like, wow, you're really seeing me. So like for you with the illusion energy, it's like a lot of people are attracted to you and find you really, really sexy. But in some cases, they're not seeing you, they're seeing themselves, and they're being attracted to you based on how you make them feel about themselves, which is wild. And you know, your guides are highlighting this as a skill, that this is a sexy, hot quality that you can use to your advantage. So if you have found that your abilities to flirt or to influence people have helped you to open up doors and take steps forward on your path, don't feel bad about that. Like, as long as you're not hurting those people and you're just using their own biases, you know, to your favor, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Vine, seek out information that will help you. Yeah, like you're smart. You are looking for information. You might be online. You might be well connected as well. And there's this sense with the vine and all of these flowers that like you are taking time to grow something for yourself. And like with every day that goes by, there's like something else that's blossoming from you. New creative projects, new insights. You're inspiring other people as well. There's like this symbiotic relationship that feels like it's coming forward. Like you are inspiring and then they are creating art because you know, led the charge or led the way or showed them the way through the door. And then they have the same effect on other people that they encounter. Weeping willow, family sorrow. Interesting. So I associate willows strongly with fairy-like energies. So again, whimsical, otherworldly, playful, childlike. Maybe you do like to play a little bit of a joke on people, but it's in good fun. And what I was saying before about like taking the hardships and being able to make something beautiful out of them and not being like tied down by any of the hardships. There's this sense too of like maybe some of you are a little bit melancholy, or you have sort of this, that's part of your aesthetic, this sort of like you know, I don't know whether it's not necessarily gothy energy that I'm feeling, although that might be true for some of you. It's this deeply romantic energy. It's giving Wuthering Heights, you know, like it's giving Kathy and Heathcliff kind of energy. And like people just are so drawn to you. It's giving like Victorian vampire. But like not so much the gothy part. Like, I don't know. For those of you who get it, you get it, right? I don't need to say any more about it. Some of the messages that come forward just seem like I say them and I just feel so like wacky to me, but I know that it's going to make sense for you guys. Peacock, be aware of great pride. Okay, wild. So peacock, beautiful. There's something that really stands out. Gorgeous colors, really flamboyant in some way, like maybe your fashion, maybe there's something unique and unusual, like that exotic energy I was mentioning before. You put on a show. You know how to put on a show, and it is sexy. You might literally be a performer as well. You have pride in who you are, and like confidence is sexy. People are attracted to that. Inventory. Okay, interesting. So you might have a lot of accessories. You have like a big closet, a big inventory of like resources or items that sort of represent you. You might have also taken inventory of the world around you and the things that you have issues with, the things that you would like to have changed. Maybe you take inventory of the people in your life. You create strong boundaries, and people find that really, really sexy as well. Self-care. You take care of yourself. You likely have certain health and beauty routines that you do religiously. You might also have different rituals where it's all about pampering and loving on yourself, and people find that really sexy. There's this sense of like, you know, you're sexy, or you're that you attract people and you don't really care what other people think. Like, I don't once get the sense that you do this for someone else, that you're doing this to attract their attention. You might use the fact that they're attracted to you for your benefit. Your guides are recommending that you do. But I don't think that you ever did it for that reason. You might just stumble into the fact that people find you really attractive, or they really want to listen to you because they think you're so sexy. And it's like, okay, well, if you think I'm so sexy and you're going to listen to me and you want to hear what I have to say, well, let's talk about what's going on in the world. Let's talk about how we can make this place better for all of us. Let's talk about this cause. Like, oh, you want to spend time with me? Great. I'm going to volunteer at this, food pantry. Let's go there. There's this sense of like you utilizing the appeal that you have to create something that is needed, because I do think you're really trying to help people. The diviner, divine timing evaluation, the fire energy here. Yeah, you light a fire under people. And this, again, the planting the seeds, you're inspiring something in them. You might have strong spiritual and psychic gifts as well. You might be telling people truths that they have no idea how you know that. And they're like, I've never been more seen. Some people might be obsessed with you a little bit. There's this sense of like, no, we're soulmates. No, you're the one, because you seem to like see things that no one else has noticed. Maybe you're noticing them all together, like, and no one's ever paid attention, or you're planting a seed. Some of you need to be a little bit careful, if you're not already through this lesson, that you're not giving all of your energy away to people and planting all of these seeds for them to harvest something in the future. Like, remember, like, ultimately you want to, and this is not in a self-serving way, you are pouring into yourself so that you can show other people what it looks like to have self-love, and pouring into your cup so that you can take the drastic steps necessary to have the energy and the resources for the causes that you're so passionate about. And then you will inspire other people. Okay, next. Okay, Morganite, love, angelic. That is wild. Okay, that's so cool. Joy. So, as I already mentioned, the angelic energy. And Libra. Didn't I talk about Libra? Did I say anything about Libra? The air sign, Aquarius, Gemini. Maybe I mentioned maybe a little bit of Libra. I'm not sure. And it says, divine love lives within me. Morganite attracts love and connects us to divine love. It grounds us in a sweet energy that encourages peace and joy. It's gentle, easing us into releasing emotions of old wounds, nurtures the emotional body, and then the chrysanthemum or the mum is on the bottom of the card. And it says joy, loyalty, and good spirits. Yeah, this is what you do. You're in good spirits. You know how to joke. You know how to have fun. You're sweet. You're inviting with people. You Libra, ruled by Venus. You look good. You smell good. You taste good to many people. And they want to be loyal to you. They enjoy being around you. And through your insights that you very sweetly reveal to them, you're helping them to nurture and heal old wounds. Like, this is really powerful energy. And it's super sexy. I completely understand why you're being described as super hot. Pearl, purity, innocence, integrity. And the card says Gemini and Cancer. Third eye, I have faith in my connection with my higher self. Pearls signify innocence, purity, and faith. They enhance focus and attention. Pearls enhance truth and loyalty to life situations. It is connected with fertility and its calming effect on the auric fields. And then flame lily, purity, passion, honor, and beauty. Yes. So you seem to have some sort of faith. There's that innocence energy with the pearl that I mentioned before, like where some people, you're pure, you might be perceived as being a little naive or idealistic, but it's still so attractive to people. And you're very focused on what you're passionate about. You want to bring truth to the table. I don't think you don't suffer fools. I don't know if I said that already, but like, you don't want to be around people that just want to play around and they don't have any direction or purpose, or they're just trying to make mischief. We can have fun, but like, let's try and be honest. Let's really try and focus on the real issues here. Let's try and reveal how we're really feeling, and then start to work on a creative project. What do we want to build? Shamrock, good luck. So you seem to have good luck. Things are working out in your favor. You might have a very good Jupiter placement, or you're bringing a lot of good luck into other people's lives. That always seems to come along with like muse-like energy, and muse-like energy can also be connected to that manic pixie dream girl or dream boy energy. So you come into a room full of ideas, maybe you're sharing insights and someone thinks, oh wow, that's so great, I'm gonna do that. But I want all of you to know that you are a never-ending supply of opportunities and ideas. That's part of your core energy. There's a sense of you channeling things from the other side. So don't hang on too tight to those ideas. Like, save some of them for yourself, things that you definitely want to create or do in this life. But if you have different ideas and you share them with people and someone takes that and runs with it, don't worry about it. Like, you have an endless supply of ideas. You can freely share, and it's not gonna negatively impact your life. The only thing that would negatively impact your life and your natural magnetism is if you don't take action on any of these things. Like, you have to be willing to take those steps for yourself. But even if someone runs with an idea, you're gonna be given another. Optimism. Look at this. I was gonna mention something about the mermaid because the pearl was making me think of mermaids, as well as Cancer. The crab makes me think of Ariel. And we've got an angel again. Okay, cool. The angels with our feather here. So cool. The three muses, I was mentioning that. Moon, Sagittarius, 9th house. You might have strong placements that involve that house or those two signs. But overall, you are a wealth of inspiration. You are very fluid. You see things from a higher perspective. You know how to inspire creativity and celebration in people, and people find it so sexy. I do think that you are beautiful and you have a gorgeous body. You might have a very feminine body or a classical shape. Like you might look at yourself and think, if it was only 1920, I would be the ideal beauty. If it was only, 1800, like there's a sense of you having this sort of like historical beauty. And some of you have very unique beauty, very unique features. Maybe you have like a Roman nose, or you have like something about like dark features, dark hair. There's something about your heritage that is like a classic element to your beauty. And you have to embrace that. You have to lean into that as much as you can. If you come from a family where there is strong traditions or something associated with beauty that was passed down to you culturally, or even if it was just a homemade recipe from grandma all about how to do a beautiful hair mask, do it. Lean into it. It's going to enhance this beauty that you have. There's something about alchemy. Like you need to like lean into that magic. Queen. Oh my God. So like I think this is Queen Maeve, who is like the queen of the fairies. Yeah, you've got queenly energy. There's fairy energy. There's mermaid energy. There's angel energy, like very otherworldly. Just lean into it. Like some of you might be interested in alternative fashion in some way. It's historical fashion. You're interested in burlesque. Like there could be any number of ways. Maybe you're a midnight ballerina. There's this sense of like creating an illusion, creating something that casts a spell, drawing people in. Utilize it. Utilize it for everything that it could possibly give you. Why not? Take home all of the prizes. Take home all of the coins. Try and do it in a way that doesn't hurt or harm people. Make sure that they're willingly participating in this, because then you're not going to accumulate any negative karma, which I would never want for you. But like lean into this. If you've got a business idea where it has something to do with theater, drama, play, that illusionary energy, do it. It's going to be fantastic for you. It's going to bring like a lot of rewards to you. Yeah, do it now. With the 8 of Wands. So this is fast-paced energy. Like people connect with you and want to be near you immediately. You might have found that there are certain people that wanted to date you and it was like they were moving way too fast, like they were obsessed right away. You also help to put people into alignment and turn them on to things that maybe they weren't thinking about before. Maybe you're really interested in global warming and you're like talking to people and you're helping them to see how like certain things in their life are not going as well as they wanted them to, or there's certain like problems, right? Like flooding. Well, it's because of global warming, but you like share this insight that they need to hear in a way that they're receptive to, that is disarming. You're also like completely on the right track. Like people are so clearly aware that you are on the right track. Your opinions are correct. You're right. Like this is the direction we need to go in. Like some of you are like talking about finances too. Oh, that's such a weird little side message that came in. It had something to do with like decentralized banking. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, definitely. You do you. Like, let's like shake things up. I think that there's some major changes that are going to be happening when it comes to finances anyways. So like, let's do it. Let's go in a new direction. People just find it so sexy. And then gambler. Whoa, that is so wild when I was talking about money. So it says willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. The shadow attribute says relying on luck rather than hard work. I think that's what other people perceive. Some people are actually really attracted to that. They're like, yeah, if you can like scheme and manipulate yourself into being rich, do it. I don't think you see it that way. I think that you see it as following your intuition, using your gifts to take a risk, and hopefully it's going to work out in the end. Like, you seem like people that probably always wanted to pursue your dreams, and you didn't want to have a job that you would hate every day. You were going to like take that risk, and you know that you have to walk that tightrope. It's going to be hard. Some of you might have unconventional talents too. Like, you might be interested in like aerials, like you're doing some sort of like aerial yoga, or you've done like, you've taken a class on like circus performing. Like, there's really interesting classes in my city where you can like learn to like perform on a trapeze or walk a tightrope. I know that tightrope walking, even in some parks, they have like tightrope set up because it's like really good for core strength. So some of you might be even connected with Cirque du Soleil. There might be something there. Astronomy, you might be an astrologer. You might be a poker player, like you've made a lot of money playing poker, or you're taking a gamble in some way. This might be like Bitcoin or something like that. Finally, pioneer. This is that strong Aquarian energy again. It says passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. And the shadow attribute is compulsive need to keep moving on. Again, some people might think that, you know, you are constantly running away from things, but I think that your perspective is like a rolling stone gathers no moss, that you, like, the only thing you can guarantee is change. So let's just embrace it. Let's like move towards the future. Let's see where this is going to take us. This will be fun. This will be an adventure. And again, this light bulb with the heart, right? It's making me think, and look at the yellow on the card. It's really making me think of this charm. You have charm. You have charm. You have a lot of charm and charisma. That is beautiful. So now I'm going to get some final cards that are just going to be some final things that your guides think are super hot qualities about you. What can you tell us about the hot qualities of pile number 3? What hot quality does pile number 3 have? Okay. This one I think wanted to come out too. Earth Guide! Your sacred calling upon this planet is to simply love and be loved. That is beautiful. Like I was saying, I think a lot of you are environmentalists, or you're connected to the earth in some way. You live in, you know, a rural area. You have your own garden. You just love plants. You love connecting with animals. You have a job that's connected to that in some way. Surrender your need to control the outcome. Just be with life and in this present moment. Yeah, you are allowing life to take you where you need to go. Some people might see that as you're just like, you have no direction. You're just rambling. But maybe that's also with the way that you communicate. There's a sense of like, people feel like you're rambling, or like your perspectives are rambling. Again, this is all projection. The truth is that your connection to the earth and what's really important, and your ability to surrender, and like also not know when you've lost a fight. People also find that really sexy. Like you're humble. When someone proves you wrong, you can admit it, and you don't have shame with that, and you'll congratulate the other person if they've won something over you. Like, you have no shame with that. Like, there's no ego attached to it. It's like whatever is the right answer is the right answer. That's okay if you're wrong. Okay, and some final cards. Okay. So your hottest qualities, achievements, win the award, accolade, or contract. So you have achieved quite a bit, or you will be. Like, or people perceive that you win a lot, like you seem like a winner, that you're winning accolades, rewards, and contracts are meant to be yours. Successful career, a happy working environment, pay raises, and promotions. If that hasn't already happened for you, it's definitely in the cards for you. You're going to be very successful in your career. You're going to be also very happy in your career. Many of you are going to be entrepreneurs. You're going to be involved in new technologies and innovations, and it's going to catapult you to a new level of success. It has a lot to do with the shifts and changes that are happening in the world order, if you will, like the way that we just approach life and resources. Like I was saying before, you might be involved in digital currency or decentralized banking or something like that. But it's super sexy. Of course, all of your success and all of these like awards that you're going to be achieving. Like some of you might be getting big awards like a Nobel Peace Prize. You're getting some sort of like achievement where you're being recognized for your humanitarian work or some sort of innovation, this new technology, maybe even some grants, something like that. And that's super sexy. So that concludes your reading pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to know your thoughts on the reading. If you feel like sharing, you can leave those in the comments below. And like I said before, the more you engage with my content, the easier it is for me to tap into your energy and channel messages for you. And if you would like to have a one-on-one reading, go to my website, odessamall.com, and you can book a session with me there. I hope you have a wonderful day or night. I am so excited to connect with you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care.